Hi guys, welcome to your Royal Rumble review. It's General Jerry here, and yeah, we have quite a few things to cover. Let's just talk briefly about what is different about this year in comparison to previous years. I decided to do something completely different. Okay, I decided to do something completely different going into this Royal Rumble because I know for a fact that whenever the results have come out for this, everyone just complains. Because number one, they didn't see the show in its entirety, they just watched clips of it online. Number two, they literally just watch the social media shit, and people are just making their own minds based on what other people are essentially saying. So this year I did something different. I didn't go on Twitter, I didn't go on Facebook, I didn't go on YouTube. I actually turned my phone off. The only time I kept it on was during the women's Royal Rumble, because I was talking to some of the guys in our chat there. And then that's it, I just turned it off completely. Because I want to walk into this completely blind. And I wanted to have an open mind on this Royal Rumble. And I'm glad I did. Because now I see why people complain about these type of pay-per-views. Is because of, number one, the spoilers. It's impossible not to get spoiled by some of these pay-per-views. And number two, the amount of people posting shit online, and it's formulating other people's opinions and stuff. So I did something different, which I think was absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually like this pay-per-view, and I know that's gonna be shocking for some people, because I know some of you might be expecting me to be angry at this pay-per-view and expect me to be but I'm not gonna sit here and lie. If I genuinely enjoy a pay-per-view, I'm gonna actually just say that I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. Now, am I going to say, is this the most perfect pay-per-view in the world? But I will say this is probably the most decent Royal Rumble in recent history. If you haven't seen it in its entirety, I would highly recommend you do. Don't rely on just watching clips online. Don't rely on just reading the results. And don't rely on some of these guys that are just complaining on Twitter for the sake of complaining about it. It is an actual decent show, and a show that I would highly recommend you watch. I actually absolutely enjoyed it. Number one, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Now, while I've praised Royal Rumble so far, this match is the match that I was actually disappointed in. In fact, this is going to get probably the other match, there's other matches here that aren't really, they're lukewarm as well, but this match I didn't particularly like because it went on for nearly 15 minutes and it ended in a disqualification. Now, the argument some people might say is, well, Jerry, they're obviously building up to Roman Reigns, they're doing something with him, reason why he had us a disqualification. Yeah, that's great, that's fantastic, but Roman Reigns is walking in with a disqualification. He hasn't beaten Seth Rollins clean, and we'll get to that towards the end. It looks like he's going to be facing Brock Lesnar again. I have no idea why this is a disqualification. In the next few weeks, maybe we will find out why they've done this, so I'll be an open mind. But at this point in time, I didn't think they should have done a disqualification. Now, the match itself was brilliant. The actual back and forth, the fucking wrestling, like you can tell Roman is dramatically improved his actual in-ring, offense, and so Seth Rollins. Seth, to me, I think he's a fantastic wrestler, but this whole like, he needs to stop that. Like, it was actually kind of distracting at some points in the match where he's going like, and it's not even like a good laugh, it's like a constipated laugh. But that's just a nitpick. But overall, the match actually was amazing. The ending was just horrendous. We'll find out why he's done this. Maybe he's going to be facing Seth Rollins, maybe, at Elimination Chamber. I presume that he's going to have his belt on the line, probably, for Elimination Chamber, which is going to be, it's going to be outside of the USA this year. But yeah, Seth Rollins, he's an alright wrestler, but it's just the whole laughing thing, and it's ridiculous, man. Like, anyway, disqualification. The match was brilliant, just an horrendous ending. Let me see. Oh yes, so the next one here is the women's Royal Rumble match. Now, walking into the Women's Royal Rumble match, I'm not going to lie, I thought the only decent one I seen was when Becky Lynch won. I wasn't really into the Women's Royal Rumbles the last few years because it was just a little bit boring for me. However, I will say this is probably the best Women's Royal Rumble in recent history. There was actually good movement. Now, there was some botches, like, don't get me wrong, and same as the men's, and we're going to get into Kofi Kingston's fucking... we'll get into him in a second. But I think this was actually a really good solid women's Royal Rumble match from start to finish. Unlike the men's, this actually had a few surprises. Like, you had Kelly in there, you had Ivory, you had a lot of the returning of the old guard, if that makes sense. Mickie James, obviously, the very first time that Impact Wrestling has been really talked about in WWE, and you actually see the physical belt, the actual physical women's Impact belt. Never thought in my lifetime I would ever see that, so I thought that was actually amazing. I would have hoped they would have done something a little bit better with Mickie, just have her a bit longer in the match. But overall, the winner makes sense. Ronda Rousey makes her surprise return. I did not expect her to be there. I'm going to be honest. I did not expect, because I didn't read the dirt sheets. That's why I actually enjoyed this. I did not read that much going into this pay-per-view. And I think this is a life lesson for me, is that I think the reason why I've hated wrestling, yes, it is horrendous, some of the storylines that we've seen in the past, but a lot of it is the spoilers, the dirt sheets, and just the negativity. And I think, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be ranting and raving in certain aspects of wrestling. I'm always going to do that, but this pay-per-view's given me a new perspective where I can now look at things straight and narrow, no interference, and that's what I'm going to do from now on this channel. I'm not going to stay up late watching pay-per-views now, because that also annoyed me, because if you're watching these things till 4 in the morning, and I will give them praise, they're finally doing pay-per-views on a Saturday. I've been saying this for years, like, it makes no sense to me why this takes place on a fucking Sunday. Like, why are pay-per-views on a Sunday? No one can watch it. It looks like now, from what I've been hearing, Vince is now saying that profits have now gone up and view time has gone up on Saturdays, because people have time to watch wrestling. So, because everyone's working on Monday, man, like, no one's got time to stay up late on a Sunday. Going back to the Women's Royal Rumble, I thought it was absolutely decent. Sasha Banks was eliminated first. Sasha Banks, man, look, I understand that some people kind of like Sasha Banks. And I'm going to be quite harsh here. I don't understand why a 30-year-old woman is like, the Sailor Moon thing, I get, like, you want to do your cosplay stuff, absolutely. I don't look nothing like Sailor Moon. I'm sorry, it just looks out of the ordinary, and I can't really describe it, but it's like, you know, some of these women are like 30, 35, 40, and they're dressed like teenagers on a Halloween night, and it's really, it's distracting, because I want to like Sasha Banks, but, like, I mean, literally 5 minutes in to the match, her hair's falling out, and it's like, I don't know, man, it's like, to me, it's like, I think there needs to be, like, I understand that obviously, it goes for men as well, like the fade haircut all the time, and the same thing over and over again. And I'm just seeing a lot of women looking exactly the same, where they've got the multicolored hair dyes, they've got their, it's just the same attire all the time that I've seen. And I think with Sasha Banks, I would like to see her revert maybe back to her old attire, because I get it, like, she wants to dress up like Sailor Moon, that's brilliant, fantastic, absolutely all for it, but at least make it look like Sailor Moon. You know what I mean? I just felt that it was so, I don't know, like, I don't know what you guys feel about it, but it's just, I just felt weird. Like, it's just weird I just feel like it was weird for a 30-year-old to kind of to, like, you know what I mean? Because she's a great wrestler, and I think I think some of these wrestlers now are relying on cosplaying to compensate for their attire, and I think Sasha Banks, as much as I'm not a big fan of her, she's a lot more talented than that. That's all I just want to say about that. Probably gonna get shit for that, but I don't give a fuck. Melina, was there as well. Really good to see her. She looked actually pretty well. Unfortunately, she got eliminated too soon. Tamina Kelly got eliminated. Liv Morgan, that was disappointing, man. Liv Morgan, I actually like Liv Morgan. And it's such a shame they're just burying her. They really are burying her. I think she's a girl that I think over time should eventually have her time to shine. Because a lot of people seem to like her. Then you got Queen Selena got eliminated, but going down the list. Michelle McCool showed up, which was really good. Sonya Deville, she's now wrestling again. Carmella had her face met. Ivory was in the Hall of Fame. So Ivory, obviously, I actually quite like Ivory. The Bella Twins were there as well. They just annoyed the absolute hell out of me. I'm sorry, but everyone was cheering for them. But I was like, ugh. Like, they're now regarded as Hall of Famers. Like, you know what I mean? Mickie James, obviously, she got eliminated. She did pretty well, though. I'm not gonna lie. She did absolutely amazing. But I really hope they do more things like this in the future. I doubt they will, but I would love for them to bring some wrestlers over to Impact just to see them shine. I'm not saying that they're gonna bring people in from AEW. That's not gonna happen. AEW have already burned their bridge with that, which is a shame because I generally do think WWE would have had a willingness to work with AEW, but the constant bashing and some of their stars appearing on these Vice documentaries and just every single week bashing WWE. And I think now people are finally realizing that AEW just this pay-per-view was pretty decent, you know what I mean? But in regards to the women's match, they're really, really decent enough. Ronda Rousey wins. I think she's probably the best person to have won that. Definitely. I actually like Ronda Rousey. I remember everyone was trying to fake hating her. And they're like, I hate Ronda, I love the other women. She's just a part-timer. Shut up. Shut up. Ronda Rousey, everyone knows who she is. Very good in the ring, absolutely amazing on the microphone as well, by the way. I think she's very underrated on the microphone, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what she does, and I hope she wins the championship, because we need, that women's division really needed a boost, and I have to actually, Jesus Christ, I'm praising WWE now, but I have to praise them for this women's Royal Rumble. It was actually really, really good. Becky Lynch defeated Dewdrop via pinfall. I didn't really care. I just didn't care. I'm sorry. I kind of skipped that one, which I'm sure a lot of you did. Dewdrop, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a good wrestler, but it's just, I think she needs a wee bit more of a, wee bit of an oomph, a wee bit of a push, a wee bit. She was never going to beat Becky Lynch, to be honest with you. Bobby Lashley defeated Brock Lesnar via pinfall. Obviously, the distraction by Roman. Quite predictable, but I will say the match itself was pretty good. A lot of people probably will have complaints that there was nothing special, there was too many suplexes and stuff. But I think now in recent times, I think it's good that we're getting back to the style of wrestling, because I think that there's just too much. And when you watch certain promotions that do these kind of long 30, 40, 50 minute long matches, and you see a condensed version, I think it's more enjoyable. Also, I think, unfortunately, the rivalry between Lesnar and Bobby Lashley has been overshadowed by Roman Reigns. I really hope that they do a proper feud between Bobby Lashley and Lesnar, and it should be interesting. It'll be interesting to see who Bobby Lashley's going to face, because I presume Brock Lesnar's going to fight, obviously he's going to fight Roman Reigns. And that's going to be the whole rivalry between Roman and Lesnar and Paul Heyman in the middle. So that should be pretty good. I'm actually looking forward to that match. So already we have a decent match at WrestleMania. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice. Edge and Beth Phoenix won. It is what it is. I would have liked Edge to be in the Rumble, but obviously, they want to do this program with him and Beth. I really hope they just move on from this now, this couple thing, and Edge goes into the Elimination Chamber. I do think I could see Edge versus Bobby Lashley possibly. That would be pretty decent. Edge versus Bobby Lashley for the championship. So that will be actually pretty decent, and maybe Edge will win the Elimination Chamber. But I hope they move past this Miz Edge thing. The rumors is this is gonna spill over and carry on, which I really hope they don't. And then finally we have the men's Royal Rumble match. Pretty good. I actually kind of liked it. AJ Styles, obviously, he was favoured to win, and he didn't win, and it was actually unpredictable. I did not think that Brock Lesnar was going to win this. I generally did think Kevin Owens or AJ Styles was going to win this, and I'm glad I'm wrong, because that's why we watch the Royal Rumble, is for its sheer unpredictability. Shinsuke Nakamura, he got eliminated, God love him too. Austin Theory, it looks like they're doing something with him with Vince McMahon, I have no idea. Bobby Roode, obviously very decent. Damien, halfway through the match was more to do with, almost, believe that's how you're saying his name correctly, where it was a whole thing where they were trying to pile on him and throw him over the top rope and all that there. And yeah, I enjoyed that halfway through. I do think this was an actual solid Royal Rumble match. My only thing that I don't like about this is that there was no surprise entrances. Yes, you had Shane McMahon, but he already announced it. Brock Lesnar obviously was a good one, but I would have liked to see more legends in this. And Johnny Knoxville, like there was a lot of celebrities. It was almost like reminiscent of the 2001 Royal Rumble. There was more celebrities in this, you know what I mean, than anything, and I get that 100%, but I would have liked to see some special kind of entrances, like, you know what I mean, like some legends, you know what I mean, maybe even from other promotions. I would have liked them to do something on, like, you know, anyone from Impact, and bring them over, same as that we're bringing over Mickey James, but you know what, it is what it is. I do think if Brock Lesnar didn't win this, I think this probably would have suffered the ratings for this actual match, but very, very good. I enjoyed the actual Royal Rumble. I thought it was really, really good. Bad Bunny was actually surprisingly good. I'm not a fan of that type of music, but he's a really good wrestler. Like, for someone who's only just recently, you know, got into it, and he had an amazing WrestleMania. Really, really good. Really good spots he did actually, so I'll have to praise him. Might be a chance he might, actually become an actual wrestler. I do think actually if he trained like for another year, I think he could actually be a really good high flyer actually, Bad Bunny. Because he's got that natural talent of a wrestler. Shane McMahon did alright, you know what I mean. He did pretty decent. Randy Orton, obviously, he did. I mean, I actually thought Randy Orton was going to win at one point, but because honestly, I thought Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens, and then whenever they said, "Oh, Randy Orton might, like, if he wins, he ties with Stone Cold Steve Austin," and when they said that, I went, "Oh yeah, there's a chance Orton might win. I'd actually be happy with that." But when I seen Brock Lesnar at number 30, that was really, really good. And Brock Lesnar just cleaned house, and I think that was really, really good. So Brock Lesnar, obviously in the main event, it does look like Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar will be the main event at WrestleMania. Makes total sense. You know, who knows? Maybe The Rock might show up. You know, at some point. I doubt it. They'll probably do that next year, because I think, isn't it Hollywood? WrestleMania Hollywood is like next year, not obviously this year, but the year after is going to be the Hollywood one, so there's a high chance we might have Rock then. But yeah, I have to say, I enjoyed the show. If you didn't enjoy the show, it's fine. Like, there's nothing. I'm not saying that this pay-per-view is perfect, but for what it was, for a reintroduction into wrestling, I actually enjoyed it. I thought this was actually decent. Overall, I'm going to be giving this pay-per-view a 7 out of 10. No, actually, no. Do you know what? I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So 8 out of 10 for this Royal Rumble. Very good pay-per-view. We'll see what AEW does next, because I am going to be watching them next and seeing what they're up to. So, and here's the thing, if I like the AEW shows, I'll just tell you I like it, because I actually liked the very first pay-per-view AEW. You know, the whole Double or Nothing, I actually quite enjoyed it. So, I'm going to be very open when it comes to this. Obviously, if there's something that's going to anger me, I'm going to get really fucking angry, but yeah, I thought really, really good show, and yeah, 8 out of 10, that's not bad. The road to WrestleMania starts, so if you like this video, guys, click on the subscription below, like the video, smash that like button, or whatever the fuck people say now these days, and also share my video. It will be really much appreciated. I am officially back now, so yeah. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel. Signing out, motherfuckers.